Hey, this is me building and strategizing my 400k per year profit solo consulting business right in front of your eyes. And this is a daily update series that follows the exact same structure. I start by answering some questions from the audience. This means that you can ask your question down below and then I'll answer it in tomorrow's video. I get to help you, who are probably an agency owner, a coach, a consultant, who ended up on this channel because you either follow along or maybe you saw a thumbnail and a title that resonated with you. So I'm actually here to help you. So you can jump into the channel here that you're watching the daily updates, comment down below, and then I'll answer your comment tomorrow. That's my thumbnails, templates, that's not relevant. Then I do business stats, which is basically just like me, fully transparent, showing you how much money that I make, how much money I spend, and the growth of my social channels. And then I try my best to basically strategize on how I plan to get onto $1 million a year in personal profit by, of course, looking at the numbers and the bottlenecks that I have inside of my business. So let's dive right into the comments that have been in the past few videos here. So what I do is that I scroll all the way down until I haven't interacted with a comment anymore. And then I end up here with, for example, Daniel's comment, and then I'll go ahead and answer it because Daniel has been so nice that he's asked a question. So let's read. You have no idea how much you have helped me in for the last few weeks. Everything about your positioning and values align with mine. I really appreciate that, Daniel. Thank you so much, bro. I actually got very inspired by a digital coffee model and how you inspired one of your students with the musical instruments model as well. Thanks, bro. So I wanted to ask if it is okay to take that inspo and make my own with house building and bricks. First of all, of course, man. I think never ever steal like an artist, isn't it what they say? I think the key part in this world, right, is to see what people are doing and what is working, and then taking the concepts and the things that you like about like many different people. Like I have people where I really like the way that they articulate themselves in their content. I have people where I like their editing style. I have people where I like their storylines on Instagram. And then I take bits of inspiration and then I combine it with my personality and my journey and my values and the way that I see and understand business. And then I create my own. And then when you do that for a long enough period of time and stick to your words and your actions, then that thing becomes your style that then people take inspiration from. Just like you're taking inspiration from a digital coffee shop, Daniel, and then turning it into your own with house building and bricks. I like that thought process a lot, man. Then your question here. Let's say one is doing outreach while posting content about their own digital coffee shop. How would you position and structure a cold loom on DMs? After getting permission on first message? And I know you don't really like sales calls, but to maximize the percentage of closing rate, what would you show or share on screen to the prospect, roadmap, deliverables? This is a great question, bro. So the way that I see it, right, so is that there are different components. When you're doing outreach, for example, in your case, Daniel, asking if you can send a loom, what you're selling there is not your service, right? You're selling the approval of like you sending them a loom. So the first message, it's you selling the loom. Hey, like I've made this personalized video for you. It will show you how to solve problem by bringing you here or using this method. And then the loom, the whole point of the loom, right? When you get approved to send the loom, the whole point of the loom is to sell the meeting, right? So you want, the loom must be so interesting that the prospect feels like they need to spend 20-30 minutes with you to jump on a call with you. And then on the meeting, you either sell them your service or you sell them the idea of having a second call with you, because maybe you position the first call as a discovery call or a coffee chat or whatever you want to call it, right? So first of all, then it's make sure to sell the loom, and then the loom sells the call. And then with this in mind, then you can structure the loom. The way that I see looms is that first of all, they must be very short, like be very short and concise. You're basically getting a stranger that have no idea who you are, Daniel. You're asking them to spend 10 minutes with you. Not a lot of people will spend 10 minutes with a stranger. Like most people have a hard time getting through a 10-minute YouTube video that they like voluntarily clicked on, right? So make sure that the loom is like 1 to 3 minutes max, all right? Then you want to go in and you want to pinpoint exactly something visual about their profile or business that you can fix. So like, hey, you are doing this thing right now, and because you're doing that, you're missing out on where you want to get to because you're not doing the thing that you know that they should do, Daniel, right? So for example, if I were to send a loom to someone, I would be like, hey bro, I can see that you currently have a link in bio, right? Like you're spending so much time and effort on your personal brand and your content. Why are we sending people away from your Instagram profile to a type form or a landing page, right? Instead, what if we kept all the traffic on the Instagram, in your stories, in your reels, in your post, and then implement an appointment setter that could then have personalized talks, yada, 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 right? So I think Daniel, pinpoint one problem and then show them not how, but show them that you have a solution that is better than the one that they have, and that you are very happy to give them more information, but it's pretty hard because you don't know a lot about their business. So then you invite them for a call, right? Like, hey, I have this method, but I have no idea about your numbers, and if you spend money on ads, if you have team members, your profit, revenue, your current situation, do you even have space for clients? So hey, if you have 20 minutes next week for a short chat, then I'm happy to take the time out of my day to run through all of your numbers, and then if it makes sense, then I'm happy to present a strategy for you. So that like calm down approach and like super casual, just like with the Loom selling the meeting, works extremely well. So yeah, bro, I hope that makes sense. Very good question. And also, for example, here, right? And I know you don't really like sales calls. I'm in a position, right, where I've made the conscious decision to eliminate sales calls on my own calendar, because I want to challenge myself to make such good content and have such a good product and such good messaging that I can convince people that I'm the right fit for them without jumping on calls with them. The only reasons why I am in this position is because when I ran my previous coaching business, I booked more than 5,000 sales calls with a big sales team. So I've been through the loop, right? And I've done more than $3 million in revenue online with my own coaching offers. So I have the authority at this point, and I have the proof of concept. I've shared more than 800 screenshots of student wins on my Instagram profile. So I'm in a position that allows me to say, hey, I don't want to take sales calls, right? I preach to 90% of the people that I work with that you need to take sales calls, right? You're not in the position that I'm in. I took 5,000 sales calls, and my team did. And I probably took 1,000 of them on my own for the 3 years that I ran that coaching business almost, and also my agency. So like, I'm in a position where it's like, hey, I've earned my stripes in the coaching calls. So like, now I would say that I'm good enough to structure a pitch or a presentation or discovery phase in content assets, right? So I think, bro, it's about recognizing where you're at in your journey, and also making sure that you accept that, and then just like play the game based on the level that you're at. So thank you so much for your question, bro. And I hope it made good sense. Next question here is from Joseph. I appreciate that answer, Frederik, giving me the confidence that I needed to stick to the plan. Sticking to the plan, bro, is like 90% of business success. Because it's a marathon, not a sprint. If you can show up consistently every single day and do the right things, then you'll eventually win. Simple as that. Just take a look at me. I did that, and I'm doing it still, right? I really like the idea of approaching it as make money from helping business owners with content rather than become an editor. Yes. How do you approach making videos around this topic? Keep it very broad, B2C, mass appeal, or more niched videos that only appeal to already established editors looking to scale? I think you don't want to limit yourself, Joseph, to existing editors, right? For example, I ran a content agency when I started out 3.5 years ago, and I had no content experience, but I was just the middleman, having an editor team, and then being good at knowing what content performed, and then reaching out to personal brands, and then my team edited, but I had no clue on how to edit, you know? So I think, bro, content is a lot more than editing. Editing is maybe 15-20% of the final content piece, whereas the packaging, the strategy, the video concept, the execution, the video and the content's role inside of the sales funnel, that's where the money is, right? And the editing is basically just a visual. It's a commodity at this point. So I would make sure, bro, that it's important to understand that every single content piece, you want to track backwards, right? When kind of like creating a piece of content. So first, you start off with the purpose of the video, right? And typically that purpose is to solve a problem that your audience has. So if I were to make a YouTube video, I'll be like, my client has a problem of my client has a problem with predictable client acquisition. That is a problem that they're facing. So, and I know how to fix it by, for example, running paid ads with the right content and nurturing and having an appointment setter, right? So then I want to make my video around that. So I think, bro, what you want to do here is that in your case, the different videos have different goals. You can make a video saying, this is the best business model in 2025 to make 25K per month. You can also say, paid ads are dead. use this strategy instead to 10x your business. So like something that is extremely broad, right? That will get a lot of new viewers in, and then you can make more niche down content that it converts a little bit more, which could, for example, be 2 years of content creation, or like 20 learnings from 2 years of content creation in 20 minutes, right? So it's like, then you talk about your experience with content and everything, and everything that you've learned of being an editor and making strategies and these things, and how that is the best business model, for example. So I think, bro, make a bit of both, but make sure that you don't keep like calling out editors and how to edit and become a video editor. Talk a lot more about into like strategy, why long form is the best thing ever for creating trust. If you don't have a personal brand, you are missing out, right? The biggest asset you have is your personal brand, so treat it accordingly, right? So like really talk about content, personal branding, trust, long form. Ads also rising in prices, so like organic content has never been more important. So I think, bro, tap into these things, and then how people that don't have a personal brand can use those skills to do it for others, but also appeal to people like me, bro. People that already has somewhat of a personal brand, but where content is a big burden that takes time and is energy draining, and I don't know how to make thumbnails, these things, right? So I hope that helps, bro. Different videos for different purposes, all right? That's a key takeaway. Chef Buck, buzzwords going crazy, mate. MRR, high ticket performance. That is a good thumbnail, mate. I don't know what you... hopefully, I have no idea what to say. This is not even a question. This is just... Chef Buck, thank you, bro. Or have a good day. Soul, my man. Coming back to this, so useful. I appreciate it, bro. How do you track the success of your ads, especially with the direct to IG ads? Very good question. So, let's... food is here. And my girlfriend's getting it. Thank you. So I think there are different aspects of tracking ads. So the numbers that I look for is, first of all, front-end return of investment. So how much cash do I average collect up front within the 30 days? So this means the first month's installment or paid in full. So I get a front-end ROI so that I know how much money that I'm putting in, and then pretty fast, within 30 days, get in return, right? Then I track lifetime value, return on investment. So I have a lifetime value for clients, also with the extension rate in mind and renewal rate. And then I also have just like a 9.5K mentorship, and 100% of people pay it off. So like that's the back-end ROI, right? So those are the two numbers that I'm kind of focused on, obviously, when tracking ads. So there's like front-end cash and then back-end cash. And then I also have a number where, because I think this is that there's so many components to this, bro. So because the hard part about profile visit ads and DM ads, right, is that the sales cycle is so long. So I also, let me find you a tracker that I use. Because the key part in profile visit and IG DM ads is the sales cycle. When people understand how long their sales cycle is, it's game over, right? So this is the CRM that we use to track basically the sales cycle, right? So IG name and then whatever setter is using this fills this out, and then when, for example, our clients make a sale, or when I make a sale myself, then I will note down the first contact, so when I was in contact with the person, right? Because I run profile visit ads or DM ads, which means that profile visit ad, when I get a new follower on Instagram, then obviously I don't do this now because I'm full capacity and I don't focus on acquisition. But in your case, bro, I can imagine that you DM all of your followers, right? Hey, bro, thanks for the follow. What made you drop a follow? Or like, hey, bro, looking to scale, or just here for the free content. Like whatever opener you use. And that marks the first day of the sales cycle, because that is the day that they interacted with the ads, right? So whenever you make a sale, so what you want to do, bro, is that you want to scroll all the way down to your first message, and then that day is the first contact. So let's say that was 2 months ago, then you put in the 1st of May, right? So like in the month of May, and then when you booked them in, and then when you closed the lead. because then over time you'll realize that probably you're not really running your ads at let's say a 3 to 4 ROAS. Maybe you are front end, but over time then you'll get 3 different numbers. So the numbers that I focus on, right, is within 30 days, within 120 days, and within 1 to 2 years. Because, for example, in the past 10 months, I've contracted around 510K, and I've collected 400K of those, and I've spent $1,500 on ads. So you were to think that I'm the best guy in the world at running ads, right? But in reality, it's because I spent so much on ads in my previous coaching business. So what people saw there was me running a front-end ROI on my ads, or ROAS, of 1.8 and a back end of 3.6, right? So front end with like average cash up front was around 45%, and then around 82% finished their payment plan. So like that's the only thing that people see, but people forget to zoom out, and like the leads that ended up in your ecosystem and stick around in the ecosystem for 1 year or 2 years, they also eventually end up buying, right? Some of course don't, and some will never buy, but I have people where it's like, hey Fred, I've followed your journey for 2 years, now I'm ready to get started, where do I sign up, right? So like that's the most important thing to understand. And it's like, once you understand the astronomical return on investment there is on spending money on ads, you will never stop spending money on ads, right? Because it's like, even though that I only made a 1.8 ROAS on front end on the ads that I ran in my previous coaching business, we were spending 60K a month, right? So we would collect around 100K in new cash. And that is an 80% return on investment month one, right? It's like crazy. So I think, bro, that was like how I track rev and cash in these things. If you're running, then it's like overall tracking of ads in terms of performance. Then if you're running multiple creatives, then you can get a VA or a setter to, every time you get a lead, you basically click on person followed from ad, then you click the ad, and then you note down what ad, and then you put it inside of a manual tracker. So then you can see what kind of ads are performing the best. And when I say the best, it's not the cheapest followers, it's the followers that convert. So here again, it's like, but Fred, which ad do we know performs the best when the sales cycle is that long? It's like, well, don't stress about it, right? Because everything that we do as a day-to-day basis, as a consultant or an agency owner or a service provider or a coach that runs ads, is that we have a thesis, right? A hypothesis. Like we have something that based on our experience and journey and the things that we do, we're like, if I put this piece of content in front of my target client, they will probably resonate with it, right? But then like people, they switch up their ad creatives all the time, yada, yada, yada. Ads doesn't work for me. Of course it fucking works, right? So ads are first impressions, and the person with the most data on their pixel and account and the best process after the first impression, those are the people that will win, right? So the best setter, the best content, the best YouTube, the best stories, the best fulfillment, those things are 90% of the work, where the ads is 10%. It's literally just top of funnel, new traffic, cold traffic, and then it's retargeting. And every single consultant out there will sell you on the fact that they have the secret ads formula, Sol, that will fucking 10x your business, mate. When in reality, bro, you don't need that. You have a thesis of like, how do I want to, what kind of first impression would I like to generate with my clients, and then you put it out there, and then you put money behind it, and then you do it for at least 2 months, and then you forget about its existence. If you're spending less than $50 a day, that's the strategy. If you're spending more, then you want to test creatives and see what followers you get, and yada yada yada, of course. But don't sweat it, man. Don't sweat it. So yeah, I hope that helped, bro. I hope it helped. It turned into a longer answer because there are so many things to it, right? It's interesting. And I've spent like, I think probably 300K of my own money on ads. So I would say that, I love ads. And I would also say that I'm okay at it, but I've also realized that there's no need to overcomplicate it, in my opinion. But I hope it made sense, bro. Please let me know if you have further questions, because I think it's relevant to everyone. So like maybe there was something that I didn't explain correctly, or I missed something, because honestly, it was just like a strain of thought, and then I ran with it. But like, please let me know, bro. All right, those are the questions. I really appreciate it, everyone. We will dive straight into business stats right here. So let's get it. Let me zoom in so that you can actually see something. And there we go. I'm checking OBS here. Yeah, we're good. Nice. So main channel, let's first check my daily updates. Probably didn't get a subscriber in those 10 minutes that I yapped. Nope. 298. And main channel, 298 63399 6399. My Instagram is so cooked, it's insane. But yeah, it's okay, to be fair. Yesterday I made 2,339 from a client payment plan, so that was nice. And then I believe I spent $20. I actually didn't spend anything. All right, nice. It was today, but we're tracking 1 day behind, right? Let me give this. Okay, I won't do it. Or will I? Oh, it's this one. That's definitely not the same red, huh? All right, just a client split pay yesterday, 2.3K. Nice, no cost, easy. Today is a Thursday, and I don't have calls on Thursdays. Yay! So I just built my program today. I was really locked in, which was nice. I went to the gym. I've gone for a walk with my girlfriend. And then I just built my program, answered all my clients. That's it. Yeah, I'm just building my program. It takes a lot of time. I'm working with a graphic designer for all of my models as well, so there's also some revision and style there, going back and forth. But it's just writing out modules, and it's nice. I can't complain. Strategy, not anything today. We answered questions for like 20 minutes, so I think there's I don't have any more golden nuggets. That's all you get. But I appreciate you watching these videos. I wish you a fantastic week. Keep crushing it with your work, and then we'll see each other tomorrow.